Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan at welcome back dito po sa PNR at ito nga mga karibin natin na karma na. Ayan, Rimulya na bulabog sa matinding pasabog. Yan mga kababayan, patungkol po riyan ang ating alamin at bibigyan ng reaksyon ngayong araw na ito. Pero bago po ang lahat mga kababayan, sa mga hindi pa po nakapag-subscribe sa ating munting channel ay pasubscribe naman po at palike na rin po ng video ito. Maraming salamat at eto na nga, simulan na po natin to. So yan mga kababayan, bago po natin muling i-play ang video ito, pasadahan po muna natin ang mga nagtitrending na mga balita dito po sa mundo ng social media at unahin na po natin to. Nako, ito po mga kababayan ang pahayag ni Ma'am Crisette Laureta Chu. Sabi niya po dito, kailangan natin idamay si Duterte sa Farmally. Issues kasi siya ay yung presidente. Pero si BBM walang kasalanan sa flood control project, ghost projects. Kasi di naman niya alam yan. Aray ko po. Totoo, no? Nakikita po natin na talagang itong si Rimulya ay sigasig, no? Ngayon nga mga kababayan, iimbestigahan nila ni Gordon, no? Yung Farmally. At alam naman po natin itong si Gordon, di ba? Matalik pong ito eh. Matalik na nagkriticize kay former President Duterte. O yan mga kababayan, ano po ang inyong masasabi dyan sa sinasabi ni Ma'am Crisette na kailangan idamay si Duterte sa Farmally issues kasi siya yung presidente. Pero si BBM walang kasalanan sa flood control, ghost projects kasi di naman niya alam yan. Aray ko po. Ito po, si Boyeng Rimulya mga kababayan, Ombudsman orders withdrawal, re-evaluation of unarraigned Farmally cases. Ayan Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Rimulya has ordered the withdrawal of the yet to be arraigned cases in the Sandigan related to the alleged anomalous procurement of 4.4 billion worth of medical supplies from a Farmally Corporation in 2020. Ayan mga kaubayan, gumagalaw na po si Rimulya. Itong matindi dito, itong sinasabi kong magkasama sila ni Gordon. The Ombudsman also said that he would seek help. Seek help from former Senator Richard Gordon who lead the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee that look into the scandal. Ayan mga kaubayan. Ano pa bang aasahan natin dito? No? Ano pa ang aasahan natin dito kung di papunta na naman po ito sa Duterte? Kaya nga, tama yung sinasabi kanina ni Ma'am Crisette. No? Unahin natin yung Duterte. Unahin natin, idamay natin si former President Duterte. Wag natin pakialaman si President BBM sa mga ghost project niya. Anong masasabi nyo? May pag-asa pa ba ang bansa natin sa kamay ng mga ito? May pag-asa pa bang umunlad ang Pilipinas sa mga kamay ng mga gahaman na ito? Bukod sa gahaman sa pera, gahaman sa kapangyarihan, di ba? Ano po ang inyong masasabi dyan mga kababayan? I-comment nyo na lang po at eto, pasadahan din po natin ito. Kaya nga ito na sabi ni Kuya Park. Ang bilis nilang na-trace si Alice Go. Ang bilis nilang nahanap si Kibuloy. Ang bilis nilang ninakaw si PRRD. Pero ang hirap ipakulong at ipatawag si Saldico, Martin Romualdez at iba pa. At iba pang mga politikong magnanakaw. Ayan mga kaubayan. Ano po ang inyong masasabi dyan? Parang totoo Kasi ang bilis nilang gumalaw kay kay Kibuloy, nahanap agad nila Kay former President Duterte, kahit labag sa batas, nadala nila sa iba ibang bansa, no, sa The Hague. Pero ngayon, no, Saldico and Martin Romualdez, ang hirap gumalaw ng batas. Sila ba ang batas, mga kababayan? Kaya sila mahirap maimbitahan, maipatawag. Kaya ba sila mahirap maipakulong kasi sila po ang batas dito sa Pilipinas? Ayan, nagtatanong lang po tayo, mga kababayan. Diba? Kasi pag Duterte, no, ang bilis-bilis nyo. Gaya ngayon, di ba? Gaya ngayon, yung ginagawa ni Ombudsman Remulla, di ba? Ang bilis-bilis, di ba? Pagdating sa flood control projects, aray ko po, Remulla, ano nang nangyayari? Di ba? Ano po ang inyong masasabi dyan, mga kababayan? I-comment nyo na lang po. At eto, last po natin pag-uusapan ay patungkol naman po dito sa gustong mangyari ng mga congressman. Lawmakers, sabi dito, lawmakers propose construction of undersea tunnel to link Luzon and Visayas. Aray ko. Tapusin nyo po muna yung flood control projects at magpakita po muna kayo na talagang walang mangyayaring anomalya, substandards, di ba? Kasi pag yan na undersea tunnel, no, ang ginawa ninyo, aray ko po, baka millions of Filipinos will die dahil sa tunnel na yan, Tsaka, ano bang pumasok sa utak ninyo? Gusto niyo bang patayin ng mga Pilipino? Di ba? Sige. Magano kayo, mag-propose kayo tapos ipasan niyo agad yan, di ba? Tapos ibigay niyo sa Diskaya yung project na yan. Or ibigay niyo kung sinong contractor na involved sa flood control. Di ba? Nag-iisip po kayo ng improvements, no, ng ating bansa, pero ang ginagawa naman ninyo ay pangungurakot. Di ba? Malaki talaga ang budget diyan. Ibiruin mo undersea tunnel, di ba? Baka trillions po ang maging diyan. Maging budget. Tapos baka magkaroon ka ng ghost project sa mga tunnel na yan, Aray ko po. Lulubog yan. Hindi pakikinabangan yan, di ba? Baka isang biyahe lang. Nasa langit na ang mga Pilipino. Ganun ba ang gusto nyo? Nakakatakot po yan. Nakakatakot po yung sinasabi nilang undersea tunnel to link Luzon and Visayas. Nakakatakot yan kasi may bahid ng korupsyon ng ating gobyerno. Diba? Paano kung substandard lahat? Diba? Kayo na lang po, mga kababayan, ang judge it, mga kababayan, humusga dito po sa propose na construction of undersea tunnel to link Luzon and Visayas. Ayan, mga kababayan, i-comment nyo na lang po ang inyong opinion. At ito, pasadahan na po natin ang video ito at bigyan po natin ng reaksyon. Ito na po.
Even if he is already the ombudsman now, that case will continue because that appertains his action as a lawyer. We are attacking his license as a lawyer.
Basically, it's an active case kahit na po ombudsman na si
Yes.
Attorney Boying Remulla. Yung pong nakabimbing disbarment case laban kay dating Justice Secretary Boying Remulla dahil sa pag-aresto at pagsuko ng gobyerno kay FPRRD sa ICC. Ngayong ombudsman na si Remulla, ano na kaya ang mangyayari sa kasong ito? Makakausap natin ang complainant na si Attorney Israelito Torion. Attorney Torion, magandang gabi po sa inyo at maraming salamat sa oras.
Hi, magandang gabi po, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first of all, nag-file nga ho kayo ng kaso laban kay Justice Secretary Boying Remulla then, ano po, na ngayon po ay ombudsman na. What will happen to that? Magiging moot ho ba yun?
No, no. It will remain pending before the Supreme Court. And as you know, I was not the one who filed it. I was acting as the lawyer of the complainant, who happened to be the family of the Duterte. And specifically, it was acting Mayor Sebastian Baste Duterte, who is the private complainant in that case, or who is rather the complainant in that case. And even if he is already the ombudsman now, that case continue because that appertains to his action as a lawyer. We are attacking his license as lawyer. Yun po
Opo.
ang nangyayari.
Ano ho yung, so it basically, it's an active case kahit na po ombudsman na si
Yes.
Attorney Boying Remulla. For the
Mhm.
benefit of the people watching, sabihin po natin, i-disbar siya. Sabihin po pumanig ang Korte Suprema dito sa petisyon ni Baste Duterte. What happens? How does that affect his role as ombudsman?
Well, if you will check Section 8 of Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution, one of the requirements is that he must be a member of the Philippine Bar and that he must have been in the practice of law for 10 years. No? So if he is no longer a lawyer, then that would disqualify him as an ombudsman. So if the Supreme Court would decide that his action would, or his actions rather in the past, I would not comment on the specifics of it because it is what you call this confidential in nature. But I'm just discussing the effects or consequence if he would be disbarred. Then he would no longer qualify as an ombudsman because it is a continuing requirement. But what Well, if you will check Section 8 of Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution, one of the requirements is that he must be a member of the Philippine Bar and that he must have been in the practice of law for 10 years. No? So if he is no longer a lawyer, then that would disqualify him as an ombudsman. So if the Supreme Court would decide that his action would, or his actions rather in the past, I would not comment on the specifics of it because it is what you call this confidential in nature. But I'm just discussing the effects or consequence if he would be disbarred. Then he would no longer qualify as an ombudsman because it is a continuing requirement. But what we will actually do, subject to the order of our client or request of our client, and supposedly tonight we have a meeting, but it was moved tomorrow. We will still question his appointment as an ombudsman. There is a quarrel as to whether or not it is a petition for quo warranto or certiorari. We will decide that by tomorrow, and we will definitely file that petition before the.
Ano ho yung basihan ng posibleng co-warranto o certiorari laban dito sa pagtalaga?
Co-warranto may not be the proper remedy to my mind. Of course, that is subject also to discussion with my fellow lawyers for handling the case. Because under Rule 66 of the Rules of Court, specifically Section 1 thereof, it mandates that it will be the Office of the Solicitor General who should file the same. Or if not, it would be under Section 5, the person who has a clear legal right of the position. But I don't expect anyone who was not appointed, which was included in the list, no short list. There were 7. I don't think any of the 6 would be willing to file that petition for quo warranto. And I don't think that the Solicitor General likewise under Rule 66 would file that petition. So we have another option. And I believe that under Article 8, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, a petition for certiorari may be appropriate in questioning his being shortlisted by the Judicial and Bar Council. So,
Attorney-
that would be maybe the tenor of the petition.
Ano ho ba para sa kaalaman natin ang petition for certiorari? At bakit ho ito
Petition for
posibleng
certiorari, sa mga estudyante po ng batas, any branch of the government can be questioned under the expanded concept. Maski executive department yan, supposedly under Rule 65, judicial or quasi-judicial functions na ang covered. Pero kung ibase mo dito under Article 8, Section 1, expanded na po yung konsepto po ng certiorari. So kung any branch, even the executive department of the government, would commit grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, then it can be subjected to a certiorari proceeding
see.
under Article 8, Section 1. Pwede na yan i-questions.
And who is going to be guilty of this grave abuse of discretion?
Well, the JBC, including the ombudsman for issuing the, the clearance, even if we filed a complaint last September 15, and there was an order to undocket the case on September 16, tapos si Acting Ombudsman Vargas perhaps realized that there was a May 5, 2025 memorandum order of then Ombudsman Martires ordering pindocketing of criminal administrative cases. On September 17, he issued a office order which provided for retroactive effect. Tapos 10 days lang, selective pang pagka-undocket kasi yung final ni Secretary Vince Dizon noong September 11 against DPWH officials at meron pang preventive suspension, hindi na undocket. Ano nangyari yun? Yung COA fraud report which was filed on September 7, hindi rin na-undocket. Yung sa amin lang yung in-undocket. So it was a clear abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction.
Pero
Ngayon lang
dalawa
yan.
po, Attorney Torion, two people, I mean two groups. One would be the acting ombudsman, yung former acting ombudsman, and the
Yes.
JBC.
Yes, and the JB
Ayan mga kabayan, malalantad na ang sabwatan between GBC, Ombudsman sa pagkakatalaga dito kaya Boying Remulla bilang bagong ombudsman. Di ba? Abang-abangan lang po natin yan mga kabayan kung anong mangyayari dyan. Sana nga po ay makakarma agad itong si Boying at matanggal. No? Kasi parang hindi po, this is a pure opinion. Parang hindi po tama ang kanyang ginagawa at parang hindi tama ang naging proseso yata ng kanyang pagkakatalaga mga kababayan. Anyway, ano po ang inyong opinion, reaksyon patungkol po sa video ito mga kababayan? I-comment nyo na lang po sa baba. Maraming salamat po.